Good morning everybody, what's happening, what's going on? Good morning. It is 5:23. I had a beautiful night's sleep last night. And yesterday, in the evening, I was thinking about what it might be like to start doing some daily vlogs again. So here we are. So I don't always get up this early for sunrise. I try to, like most days, but recently I've not been very good at getting up for sunrise. I'll show you my view. Usually when I get out of bed in the morning, the first thing I do is write down my dreams, or whatever the main message of the dream is that I've received. And I remember some bits and pieces of last night's dream, but the main thing that I was discussing in the dream was how I was telling someone how I'm going to be committing and recommitting to doing more men's work with Sacred Sons and generally doing more men's work. Just dropped straight into a meditation after I've written down my dream, but since I'm about to watch the sun come up over the mountains, I'm going to do a bit of sun gazing. You stare straight at the sun, obviously only when it's rising or when it's setting, because otherwise you damage your eyes. The vlogs now, as you can imagine, are going to be a little bit different to how they used to be, because I do things like staring at the sun for energy and meditation and writing down my dreams, and life is very different. Look at all those birds. What? Whoa! Whoa! Ah, what a beautiful sunrise. And look how beautiful Cork Bay looks in the morning. That's the little mountain behind me. Yeah, if you are going to do a bit of sun gazing, I recommend starting off with a short period of time. Everything runs off of solar. The whole planet runs off of solar energy. The food we eat comes from solar sun energy, and so that's why I stare at the sun. And as I'm doing it, I will just think or say out loud to myself like how grateful I am for the sun, for the energy that gives life to everything, and it just sets me in a space of gratitude for the day. If I can start my day just being grateful for like the incredible miracle of our closest star giving life to this planet, and it's gonna be a good day. And this is my altar. Put a little bit of white sage there. Sage is good for clearing energy. Burning sage clears the energy of the aura and of a space, and it just smells amazing. Alright, meditation was done. Not an easy one this morning. Very busy mind, active mind, lots going on up there. As I do more meditation, I learn more about it. The point of meditation, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, experts, is not to just stop all thoughts, but rather to observe what's going on in the mind and sort of not be attached to those thoughts, because we know that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are just thoughts, it's not who we are. So I can the meditation process is like taking a step back and observing what's going on with no judgment, just compassion. As soon as I start judging and I should be thinking this or I shouldn't be thinking that, that's the ego coming in and trying to control things again. So meditation is, simply the practice of observing the mind. And I observed my mind be busy this morning for 25 minutes. Now I've made some lemon water, which I have most mornings. Just squeeze half a lemon into a glass of warm water. On an empty stomach, first thing to drink lemon water helps flush out any toxins that are sitting in the stomach. Also helps digestion and improves metabolism. So, it just makes me feel great. Makes me feel like it's part of my morning routine. So recently, I've become really interested in health. I've always been interested in health. Physical health, emotional health, your mental health. But recently, specifically around physical health, the health of my gut, like my guts, my digestive system. And I've been learning about gut biome and the healthy bacteria that help me digest my food and get the most out of my food. How that microbiome is a reflection of my macrobiome. My whole body is reflected as above, so below. So I'm testing out these different probiotic solutions. And this one is like a small batch. I think it's locally made. There's plenty of scientific evidence to suggest that probiotic supplementation supports a healthy immune system, which is super important right now. Balanced digestion, assimilation of minerals, vitamins, and trace elements, so getting the most out of your food. I think we're more bacteria than we are human. Like there's so much bacteria that we're working with in collaboration with, and in the stomach it's no different. I also believe that part of the sort of crisis that we face as a species at the moment is around our immune system's lack of ability to deal with challenges that we are facing. That is a reflection of, on a collective scale, of the bad gut health that we have. That's one aspect that I think is playing a part in our inability to combat viruses and diseases, and our immune system is not able to do its job like it's designed to, because more often than not, the majority of people are bombarding their system with food that is being grown with pesticides. Pesticides obviously kill off all the tiny little bugs, and it's all the tiny little bugs that are also the microbiome of the soil that helps to keep the nutrients in the soil very rich, which then move into the food which we then consume. So if you kill off all the nutrients in the soil, you kill off. Watch a documentary called Kiss the Ground if you're interested in this kind of thing. One of the best documentaries I've seen. Super interesting about soil regeneration. Learn a lot about the microbiome of the soil, and then of course if we're ingesting food that's been grown with pesticides, those pesticides are going to have a terribly negative impact on our gut health and also destroy the microbiome of our gut health, which means we're not going to be getting as much from our food, which means our immune systems are going to be down, which means we're going to be more susceptible and ultimately more dependent upon the medical industry for patching up the damage. And of course, fit and healthy humans that don't get sick aren't very profitable. So they started put two and two together a few times, and it's quite clear that there's a reason why majority of food that is not organic is sprayed with pesticides, because it's all just part of the big oppression. So I used to think I couldn't afford organic food, which was ridiculous, because this year is probably the least amount of money I've earned for like 5 years, and basically I've just stopped buying flights for me and my friends around the world. I've stopped buying a new laptop every time one comes out. I've stopped having to buy vlogging cameras every 3 months. I've stopped spending money on Uber Eats. Now I have plenty of money for organic food, and it's probably the one thing I spend the most money on, because I've reduced expenditure of other things in my life that aren't as important to me as eating organic, and aren't as important as my gut health and my physical health, which helps me with my mental health, which helps me with it helps me to enjoy my whole human experience. It's a very high priority for me now compared to some of the things I used to spend money on. So I'm happy to spend money on food. I'm like, this is an investment in my whole human experience. And I'm not sitting here saying you must eat organic, but just like look into it. Like, see, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so expensive, but really we've just become used to our food bills being very small. And then we can, because our food bills are small, we can spend more money on TVs and cars and whatever the latest PlayStation is, and all these other things that somehow move their way above, in terms of priority, the food that we consume. And I'm probably preaching to the choir with you guys. I'm sure you're super aware of all of this stuff, but I think it's an important topic of conversation to be had. And I do also check my extreme privilege to be able to choose what kind of food I eat, and that I even have any food at all to eat. But since I do have that privilege, I am going to take full advantage of it and prioritize my physical health, because I can. Back to nature, really, just like trusting nature in our ability to, once we harmonize with the way we are naturally designed, or have naturally evolved, or at least covering the absolute basics of that before we go ahead and take extreme measures in combating illness. Let's make sure we've got all the basics in place, that's what I say. I don't make that many smoothies generally, but I'm getting back on the smoothie train, and I just got these really great, this is not sponsored by the way, superfood shake, green alkalizer, goji berries, cacao, organic cacao paste, and chaga mushroom, medicinal mushroom, with a little bit of turmeric, frozen banana. I usually have 2 frozen bananas, but okay, it's not the prettiest looking smoothie, but it's going to be super healthy, that means. Plant update. New leaf coming through on this guy. Cute. Incredible this plant is. I think the health of houseplants is a direct reflection of the energy that has been held down in the house, and I'm happy with that. I'm actually world champion at forgetting that I put toast in the grill, so I need to remember that there's toast in there being toasted. Oh, a little bit overdone. Stand for what you believe in. Stay. Oh, it's hot here. Those who know. Almond butter. Big fan of almond butter. Pink Himalayan salt always on my almond butter toast. Check out all my sick laptop stickers. These shark ones are by my friend Francesca, and she sells them. I'll link her below. She's just got a bunch of new ones out as well, and they sell out really quick, so go and check them out. Today's work is finishing a podcast by recording the intro and the outro. So I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you know by now, I started a podcast called New Perceptions a couple of years ago. And this particular episode, it took me a while to get around to recording it because it's basically a trip report of the Soma mushroom journey, 5 dried grams psychedelic journey ceremony that I did, where I go through as much detail as I can remember and share as much of it as I'm willing to share. I recorded it when I felt like it was appropriate to record it without worrying about the intro and the outro. So now I'm going to do the intro and the outro, which I'm really happy I waited for, because the emphasis on the intro especially is going to be around the safe practice of psychedelic medicine, which I think is really such an important thing to consider when thinking about journeying with psychedelics. So yeah, I'm going to record that now, drink my tea and eat my toast. Just did the intro, and it was like 15 minutes long, and I only spoke about Patreon for like a minute, so it was like a quite long warning about the use of psychedelics as best I could communicate. Check the link in the description. The podcast will be out by now if you want to listen to it. But if you are thinking about journeying with psychedelics, please listen to the full warning and do your own research. I also trust you guys to know what you need to do, and I'm not going to sit here and baby people and tell them they should or shouldn't be doing something. It is your life, and I would never want to take away the free will that we each have to do and make choices and do life however we want to do it, you know? All right, it's in the afternoon and Francesca's back from the gym and a swim. This is the new season of vlogging, Avec, featuring Francesca's bum, multiple occasions. We're gonna go to the beach now because I just put my podcast out. I also was really stoked to post on my Instagram these macro photos that I took like a good couple of years ago of psilocybin mushrooms, and I was like, I really want to post them because they're beautiful photos, and now I have an opportunity to. So go and check my Instagram out and have a look at those macro photos. But we're gonna go walk like 10 minutes down the road to our local beach and swim in the beautiful ocean because it is a beautiful, beautiful day. We did our first Cambo ceremony together yesterday. 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
How are you feeling after your first one?
I feel like we should probably get off the track because there's a train.
Oh, there's a train coming. And now we can go back on the track.
Yep.
You feel lighter?
I feel lighter. I feel like I released a lot of emotional blockages in my belly. It was extremely a beautiful process, and we were guided by such gentle humans who held space so beautifully. So I really felt taken care of. I felt safe. Felt safe enough to purge whatever needed to come up. Yeah, I'd definitely do it again.
Yay, sold on Cambo. That's my 4th ceremony, and every time I go back I'm like, wow, what incredibly potent medicine. There are my Cambo scars. You see the 2 pink ones above. So it's the liver on the left, the liver meridian, and the heart meridian on the right.
Stomach, large intestine.
Yeah.
And then I think
Oh, you had a couple down there.
I got this one.
Yeah.
This is liver. How that orange.
So delicious.
glasses, I'd be shining my boobs.
Oh yeah, your boobs literally are shining in my glasses. Keep your hands like that.
No.
I just want to read something to you guys. A message I received from one of my Patreon community that I wanted to share on and speak on a little bit. Hey Ben, thank you. I really love the new, less traveled journey you're taking us on. I used to follow you on and off since before you and Nicole got together even. Feels like an eternity. I stopped watching religiously because it got me feeling a bit down, as it seemed like you were living such a wonderful, happy and almost seemingly perfect life, and mine wasn't quite as fabulous. What can I say? Anyways, it's great to be a part of this part of your journey as well. I feel I can somewhat relate more to it now. Instead of admiring all the beautiful places that you're going to and great times you're having, this has me more thinking about things and searching myself. Anyway, before I get carried away, I actually just want to say thank you for this, for being you, for being real, human, vulnerable with us, and in doing so helping us grow into better humans. Love you, bro. Look after yourself. Big hugs. And aside from that making my heart so warm and receiving all of that affirmation and with such gratitude, all that love in that message, what really rung true for me is how he was saying that he stopped watching my content because it wasn't relatable and it seemed like I was living this perfect life, which from the outside certainly, and from my perspective, that's what I thought my perfect life was. But I was engineering and editing and creating content to give the perception that my life was absolutely perfect and that I was really happy. And when in reality, now I look back with awareness and a bit more emotional intelligence, I understand that I was actually very anxious, stressed, not sleeping properly, not happy, often deeply depressed, but still putting on this mask and this persona of happiness in my content because that's what gets the views, and I needed those views for my own self-worth and validation, etc., and off we go down the rabbit hole. But yeah, just feels really great to know that like I'm sharing now from a place of authenticity, vulnerability, and a level of realness that the previous content didn't hit. And certainly the previous content was like exactly who I was in those moments, you know, but there wasn't so much of me that I was hiding because I was afraid of it not being popular. And actually I really didn't even have the awareness of my own emotional body and what I was actually feeling and the experiences I was having, because externally I was having the perfect dream life, and so I wouldn't even consider that I was depressed or anxious or had any kind of mental health struggles. It wasn't in my ballpark even, because look how perfect my life is. And that was really ultimately deep down avoidance, me avoiding having to have the conversations that I didn't even want to have, because I was like proving to everybody how happy I was and successful and all the things that we are brought up to believe that we must have, and that it's bad to feel negative emotions. And so yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys as I'm sitting here on the beach, feeling full of love and making some big plans for the next sort of chapter and the evolution of my Patreon community. So if you're interested, go and check it out. It's linked below. If you sign up for the 1111 tribe, you get full access to all of my previous content that's up there and all the exclusive content that's coming in the future. Back at the house, and it's dinner time. Tonight I'm going to be making an epic salad. I've got sweet potatoes, onions, we've got butternut and carrots, and I'm going to be roasting a lot of those veggies and then putting them on top of the big salad. tasty.
Bloody fucking amazing.
Bloody fucking amazing. I've fallen in love with Francesca and also cooking. Fran actually helped me fall in love with cooking again during lockdown, and I think I make a mean salad. This has been fun. I'm going to do this more often, just the daily vlog format. It's a nice, easy way of telling stories. I enjoy it, and I get to have a video log of my life to look back on when I'm older. And let me know if you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and go and check out the podcast that I put live. It's all linked in the description. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, remember to work hard, be nice to people, and try not to get lost or killed. Okay, I love you. Bye.